Good evening, Fernwood. It is your weekend warrior buddy Neil here, and it's time for us to start Defend Men with another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 140 from October 15th, 1976. That is the end of week 2. It's time to do our recap. It started yesterday with Martha really still in a quandary about where George is and how he disappeared. She talks to Detective Johnson about that, and that is about as much as we know. Over at the mental ward, Dr. Williams continues to believe that Mary Hartman is acting delusional when she tells him about the phone call from Gore Vidal. Mr. Ackerman is able to clear that up, but is not able to grant a weekend pass because, of course, having a celebrity in the place is good for business. He does, however, set her up for a meeting with Dr. Medwick, who is there to treat her sexual issues that she has been having since really the beginning of season 1. She is quite uncomfortable with this, but is willing to try out some of the exercises that he gives her, specifically in exchange for the weekend pass she wasn't able to get from Dr. Williams. That's it. That's all of the stuff that happened, other than the conversational points that they hit along the way. There was a bit of humor about the amount of sex in the Bible, or how uncomfortable Mary was with that. But I think that's enough for us to get started. And it's a Friday, so I expect that they will leave us with something big to take us through the weekend. Let's do it.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman! You know what, Charlie? Maybe I ought to turn these around center here so Mr. Santori can kind of enjoy them, too.
I don't think he cares much, honey. He's been asleep ever since they brought him back from the operating room. I hope he's having better dreams than I've been having.
Oh, honey, you know what I can't help wishing?
Same thing I can't help but wishing, huh?
Oh, Charlie, I don't have to wish about that because I know that one's going to come true. Just face it, baby boy. There ain't no way one little old teeny mean piece of buckshot's going to keep somebody of your caliber down long.
I just wish it hadn't ever put me down at all.
Now listen here. Charlie, let's just don't fix our minds on things that can fix themselves, okay? Now, let me tell you about that wish of mine. Well, I was wishing that this here hospital bed had giant big wheels on it, just like my old wheelchair did, remember? And I could just wheel you right on home tonight instead of waiting till tomorrow and have you right beside my ever-loving bedside where you belong.
Honey, I don't know what good it's going to do you having me home again.
Oh, Charlie, honey, once you get there, we're going to forget anything ever happened at all. You know, now that Merle Jeter's left town.
Merle Jeter's left town?
Yeah.
Well, that's news to me. That's good news, too. Woo-wee! That's the best news I've heard this week. That's what that is.
Mrs. Haggard, I'm sorry, but visiting hours have been over for 14 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just be a second here and just say, well, I guess I better get home. But you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm just going to dream about you all night long. And then tomorrow when you come home, I won't have to dream about you because you'll be right there with me. Right where you belong. See you later, and I love you, honey.
Goodbye.
Good night, Mr. Santori. Good night, Nurse Nugent.
Good night.
See you later.
Okay. Oh, such a lovely woman. We are a lucky man, Mr. Haggard. You know, every time she goes down that corridor, all the interns give her the eye. And they aren't impulse buyers either, let me tell you. They know how to tell a real honeydew from one of those Spanish melons. Speak of the devil.
Are you spreading rumors about me spreading joy, Nugent? Hi, Mr. Haggard. How are you doing? Oh, and how are you, Mr. Robinson?
Hola, that's Mr. Santori, not Mr. Robinson.
Oh, excuse me. I guess you're right. It must be Santori. He is exactly room temperature.
You mean he's dead?
Yes, he died about 4 hours ago. We sent him off to the mortuary. That's why I thought he was Robinson. But it's all cleared up now.
You mean we didn't send him to the mortuary?
Obviously not.
So where's our friend Robinson?
He is the appendectomy. We had him anesthetized and sent to surgery.
Uh-huh. Yeah? And what's this?
Oh, looks like an appendectomy.
Santori was sent to surgery. They took out his appendix.
After he died?
Looks that way. And with surgery backed up so that people who really need an operation can't get one, we take the time to take out a dead man's appendix.
Well, at least it can't hurt him.
Ola, if Santori was sent to surgery, who did you pack off for embalming?
The dead man, dummy.
Santori was the dead man. You sent Robinson the appendectomy to the mortuary. And they probably can't tell the difference between a dead man and a sedated one.
Are you calling me stupid?
Well, what would you call something like that?
Call the mortuary.
I call it passing the buck, because you ran out to the health food store and left me in this entire hospital while Mr. Santori or Robinson, whatever his name is, was being iced. I at least was on duty.
You know, maybe I will call you stupid.
And I'll call the head nurse.
Call the mortuary.
Call the head nurse and tell her that you called Robinson Santori.
And you call yourself my friend.
If I were you, friend, I would call a lawyer because you're going to need one. You should have called a priest. At least they can tell the difference.
They're embalming a living man.
No, Mrs. Hartman.
But I have to have a weekend pass.
It's still too premature.
But I am much better. I mean, I am really much better, not to mention the miracle.
Miracle?
The miracle. It's a miracle that a person of my age can change your whole way of thinking.
And what have you changed your way of thinking about?
Sex. Now, I'm very aware that it's very early in the morning to talk about this, but Dr. Medwick has opened up a whole new area for me. He has shown me the best sex manual that money can buy, the Bible. Do you know that the 1 Corinthians were better sexually adjusted than we are? Now, I don't mean you and me, you know.
Nobody's perfect.
Well, you see, now that's very reassuring because, I mean, Reader's Digest says that, and although I don't believe everything I read, I have not caught a slip-up in the digest yet.
Mm-hmm. So Dr. Medwick read to you from the Bible about the beauties of sex.
And how beautiful it is. You see, I always thought it was interesting, but I didn't realize how beautiful it was. I always thought that the word beautiful was something that you applied to, like, sunsets and little children. You know, I didn't realize that you applied it to that, you know? I mean, and especially, I mean, if the Bible says so, and especially for married couples, I don't know what it says about swinging single couples. See, I don't know what was going on in Corinthia at the time. I mean, I don't know if they had rules for swinging single couples. I don't know if they had swinging singles. I mean, I don't know if they had bars in Corinthia at the time. Do you know? But I do know this, it's not my problem, because I'm a married woman, and I'm here to work on my own married problems, and he suggested certain exercises that I could do. Exercises from Song of Solomon, I think, or it was like somewhere else in the Bible.
Exercises?
Yeah,
The
exercises.
Song of Solomon?
Yeah, exercises that would help me get rid of, you know, those sinful feelings. You want to know, like, what they were,
Yes,
that kind of
I'd
thing?
be curious.
Well, it's a very interesting thing. This is what you do. You see, like, you have two partners, right? You have a partner. Now, one partner stands in front of the mirror, nude. Now, that partner describes his or her body from top to toe entirely while the other one watches. Now, you know what this is for? This gets rid of all the guilt and shameful feelings.
Sounds quite therapeutic.
I thought so, which is why I feel I should get home as quickly as possible so I can try these things out with my husband. I mean, I have to save my marriage, Doctor.
Mary, you have tried every measure you can think of to get out of here, and I must say that I can't think of one viable reason why we shouldn't give this a reasonable try now. How about a weekend pass?
Oh, Doctor, that would be so wonderful.
You really think you're ready to handle the pressures of the outside world now?
Doctor, I know I can handle it. I mean, I know it. I have learned a lot while I've been here. I've been real good.
But you're so comfortable here.
Comfort does not replace loneliness, Doctor.
Ackerman, please. Dr. Williams here.
Yes, what is it, Williams?
I know you're busy, Ackerman, but it's about Mary Hartman.
Mary Hartman. She cannot leave, Williams, do you hear? Our new money drive depends on her being here. Now, do you understand that, or shall I write it out for you in prescription code?
I'm issuing her a weekend pass beginning this afternoon.
Do I take this as mutiny?
Well, you can take it any way you like it, and if you don't like it, consider this my resignation, which will be accompanied by a statement to the press concerning unnecessary confinement, mayonnaise
all right. But just for one night, I want her back here tomorrow, Williams.
What'd he say?
It's not what he says, Mrs. Hartman, it's what I say.
What'd you say?
I wish I could be sure. And you're my responsibility. Now, what if something should go wrong?
Nothing is going to go wrong. Nothing is going to go wrong. I promise you, I swear. All I need from you is one little yes.
Well...
No wells. Just one big, firm yes.
All right, you're free. I mean, you can go home, but just for one night.
Oh, Dr. Williams, thank you so much. That's so wonderful of you. I just can't thank you enough.
You must promise to avoid all mental pressures or responsibilities.
I will.
Okay, I'm going to call your husband now and tell him to pick you up.
No, please don't do that. Please don't. I really want to surprise them. I am so excited. I can't believe this. I mean, this will be such a surprise to them. I can't tell you.
Are you sure you can handle it, Mary?
Oh, I know I can handle this. I mean, I just know I can. I mean, doctor, you know me as well as anybody. I mean, can I handle this? I mean, what I'm going to do is the surprise is going to be I just want to walk into that kitchen like it's just a regular walk into my own normal kitchen. I'm going to go about my own normal things like I would on a regular normal day. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. I want you to take these with you.
What are they?
Just a few very mild sedatives. Just take only as directed.
There are a lot of pills in here, aren't there?
I gave you only what I thought you might need.
Add 2 tablespoons of Sunrise concentrate for that La Orange taste. Then dip thinly sliced bread in batter and fry at a medium heat. Ouch! Oh, I'm burning! Oh, let me start.
Hey, what's the matter? What's going on? What's the matter? You all right? What's the matter?
I'm just making you a simple breakfast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It smells incredible. Can I help you with anything? You sure you're all right?
Of course not. Now you just sit down and read your paper and have everything ready faster than you can say polio pot.
Polio pot? What's that? What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. It sure sounds good. 1 order of toast La Orange coming up. Hey, you know what?
What?
Came out just like it did in the book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Taste it.
Looks
Taste
really
it.
good. All right,
No,
all right.
come on, taste
I will.
How does it taste?
It's delicious. It's delectable. It's lovely. Hey, guess what?
What?
You're gonna make some guy very happy one day.
You mean I'll marry a gambler and we'll go off to Monte Carlo and we'll break the bank? Just like on that movie we saw last night where Ava Gardner was Gregory Peck's good luck piece?
No, what I mean is that you're gonna make a good wife to a guy someday. That's what I mean. But I'll tell you what, you better make sure he's rich so you can afford a maid to clean up all the whole mess you make, you know?
Think I could be a little neater?
Listen, I'm just thank God Mary's not here to see all this.
Well, that's how I don't take after Mother in that respect. Maybe I'm really Loretta's child.
Huh?
You know, with all this switching around, maybe, you and Loretta...
No, there's no chance of that. You're as much Mary's as you are mine. You're gonna sound like her, you know that? Hey, look, I'll tell you what.
What?
After I get home from work, I'll do the floor and I'll clean up the whole mess, okay?
Mother's slipping outs really have to get pulled together.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you went out and got a new job.
Well, I tell you what, it's something I've always wanted to do, you know? You know what I think? I think recreational vehicles are the wave of the future.
You stopped drinking.
Yep. Well, to help AA and a couple of good friends.
Like the lady who keeps on calling here and breathing funny. She wants to meet you at the Capri Lounge at 5.
Oh, you mean my good friend Nasha Warnoff, my AA buddy, huh?
You gonna...
We just meet at the lounge, and sip a couple of club sodas. It's very good discipline for AA people.
Well, you gonna buddy with her like you did with Mayo Linsky?
No, I'm not going to do that. We're just friends. She just helps me from, to keep me from feeling lonely,
This French toast tastes dry.
No.
I need some locking happen.
Hey, honey. Do me a favor, will you? I need some help. All right? I got to make sure I got all these sales facts memorized. It's my first day on the job, okay?
Yeah.
So sit down and pretend you're a customer, okay?
I don't have money for an RV, and even if I did, I wouldn't buy it.
Heather.
I buy it.
Will you just...
1952 jukebox with only Neil Sedaka records on it.
Look, will you do me a favor? Will you just sit there and pretend you're a customer? Now, you're a customer, Heather, all right? Now, look, Madam, over here, we have a 24-foot Winnebago with a 4,000-watt generator, dual forced air up here on the roof, air conditioning. Got an 8-track stereo tape system. Over here, we got a large double-door refrigerator. Huh? Do you like that? Mm-hmm. Guess what we got over here, madam? Madam, this machine is loaded. A huge bath here with a big tub and a shower. And right over here, we got a thermostat right there. Forced air heat. You know what the price of this thing is?
I don't like the color.
What do you mean you don't like the color? What do you mean? This is the bicentennial color. It's earth tone.
In that case, send it to my house. I mean my client.
My first sale. That's marvelous. Heather, wait a minute. What's going on here? I mean, you've been wobbling around all morning. What's going on with you? Huh? Heather, have you been drinking? Let me smell your breath.
Maple.
It's maple. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
You forgot. Don't you remember? I'm wearing the platform Susie gave me the money for yesterday. Judy helped me pick them out. Aren't they hip?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest Ohio craze in years. They're Puerto Rican Star Treks. See, this star has my name on it. That one has my phone number. Trudy really has impeccable taste.
I think you better get going. You're going to be late for school.
Okay. Why don't you let me clean up the kitchen after school, and you go meet Nasha for your club soda and relax?
You mean that? You really mean that? I appreciate that. You going to be okay, though?
Oh, I'll be fine. I have an Alateen meeting after school, later.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just come back and clean it up.
Okay.
You'll be fine. They say it takes a little while to get used to them. Bye.
Oh, thank God Mary's not here to see this mess. It'd really freak her out.
Here we are. How's the old homestead look to you?
Oh, it looks a great big heap better than that hospital room, honey.
Oh, Charlie, honey, I'm just so happy to have you back home with me again. Just healthy and all. Honey, you're just your same old sweet self again.
No, I'm not quite really myself yet, honey, but it is good to be home.
Well, it's good to have you here, honey, and that's all there is to it. You want to go upstairs and freshen up just a little bit?
No, sweetheart. They gave me a bath at the hospital. One of them things with a sponge and a nurse. I can tell you this because you're my wife. The nurse said I didn't have a thing to be embarrassed about, and to tell you the truth, she's just about right.
Charlie, hon, don't please don't start doing
All right, no, I won't, honey. It is good to be home.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Yeah. And about going upstairs, honey, I just hope you don't mind if I put that off a little bit, right? I don't want to do that right off. See, because, the bedroom's got a lot of memories, which they're sweet memories. But they're painful, because that's all there's going to be.
Charlie, just for a little while. I mean, it's just temporary, I mean, honey, we're going to be back to normal before long. But I'll tell you what, why don't we just sit here in the living room for a spell? You just sit here in the living room, okay?
And stare at your sweet face.
Oh, this is real nice.
Trouble is, honey, the living room, that's got some pretty wild memories, too. Oh, Loretta, I just can't stand it.
Well, why don't we go in and sit in the kitchen for a little while, okay? No. Come to think of it, we got some pretty wild memories in the kitchen, too, don't we?
You remember that time I came downstairs and you were making breakfast in one of them shorty nighties?
I don't want to hear about it, Charlie.
No. Living room, bedroom, kitchen. Boy, we really used this old house, didn't we?
We did.
Or some of the closets, too. Oh, honey, I gotta try stop sounding like a soprano, you know?
Charlie, I don't want you to worry about this and get gloomy. Now quit looking at the dark side of things.
I can't help it. I cannot help it, Angel Face. Even when I look in your eyes, I see despair.
Well, then, Charlie, you ain't looking proper. Because any man that looks me in the eyes can only see one thing, and that's ambition. See, Charlie, I've been thinking a lot, about why this happened to us and everything, and I really think it's a sign from on high. Because now, the main thing I should be concentrating on is my career, right? And the best way for me to serve the Lord is by singing again. Well, the good Lord knows that you and me is not capable of, keeping a vow of chastity, so He just done it for us. And temporarily, see, all we have to think about now is just concentrating on getting my career back on the road to superstardom. See?
You always did have a lot of determination and strength packed into one sweet little frame.
Well, you know what this sweet little frame's gonna do right now? I'm gonna march in that kitchen and fix you up the best meal you ever tasted.
Chicken fried steak?
You bet, honey, and black-eyed peas and hot water cornbread and fried okra and BBQ beans and everything.
So it looks like we're going to have to wait to see things come together. But, going back to the hospital with Charlie getting discharged, and it's nice to see him go home, and I guess we'll see, because he's still holding on to some emotional baggage. And by baggage, I don't mean it's something unjustified, but it's something that he's really feeling, that he is not dealing with and maybe doesn't know how to fix. I don't understand the introduction of the nurse there, other than to be sort of comic relief. She seemed like, when I saw her come in, I'm like, oh, is this a new character who we will see again? But it didn't seem like there was any plot to tie into as far as Charlie, just Charlie's going home and this nurse is going to be here making stereotypical gags about being kind of Latina. And also, how does the hospital not know that a person in surgery is dead and a person who is not dead is in the mortuary? Don't understand. But we already know that Fernwood has a lot of professionalism issues. Then back at Dr. Williams' office, yesterday I proposed that I would like to see Dr. Williams put up some backbone, and in this case, that's what he did. He stood up to Mr. Ackerman, and, I had forgotten all about the mayonnaise controversy, which is sort of a thing that Dr. Williams holds over Mr. Ackerman, but, at least Mary's getting a day off, and he makes her promise that nothing will go wrong, more or less. I mean, I could look at exactly what she promised, but that was the impression I have, that, that she will take care. She has been assigned a lot of medications, sedatives, to, help calm her down. We'll see, because apparently it's a big bottle. But she has been assigned her weekend pass, and, I guess she's going to go try to do that exercise with Tom, we'll see what happens there. Then we see Tom and Heather, and Martha was there just a couple of episodes ago talking about how deadly things were, and today things looked a lot more unkempt in the kitchen and the dining room, and I have to imagine the rest of the house is not well put together either. And some of that is because Mary is not there. Mary was the person who was keeping everything straight, and Heather definitely not into that. I mean, she is learning to cook, which is a nice skill, but she definitely doesn't have the skill set or attention to detail that Mary might have had with her home. And she did get those platform shoes she has wanted since like week 3 of the show, I think. I don't remember exactly when Heather first talked about platform shoes, but hey, platform shoes. And yeah, I mean, when you're walking on them, I mean, I don't know, I haven't really worn a pair of platform shoes since college, which was a long time ago, in case you're wondering. But I do walk around on roller skates from time to time, and sometimes balance is tricky, but I guess you get used to it. In any case, Tom is not expecting to see Mary because Mary wants it to be a surprise, and I think that's such a bad idea. Like, surprises just cause stress. Plus, if they had known that she was coming, they could consider that she would like the place to be cleaner than it currently is, or at least things put away. I'm not the neatest person, but I understand that other people have needs, and I want to make sure to present at least a little bit nicely if people are over, if I know they're coming at least. But Tom also has an AA friend. I mean, it wasn't described as a sponsor, but someone who gives him company and drinks club soda, what we would call LaCroix now. Is LaCroix the same as club soda? I don't know, but hey, I enjoy a LaCroix from time to time too. However, that also is something that could be pretty easily misinterpreted by someone who does not know the context, who is walking into a situation that she does not know about. So there's a potential of explosiveness when Mary comes home, and I'm a bit concerned about that. Then, speaking of coming home, Charlie does make it back to his home, which is normally pretty slovenly, as Loretta has famously really never put any effort into cleaning the place. And that's neither here nor there, but that scene was a bit of remembering what their love life was like in the first season. And even though there's still some affection between them, it is in a state of process. Like, it is in a state of processing what is going on in the change in Charlie's body. And it's not like an aging ailment that he is going through. It's a physical injury that is doing what is happening to his body, but he's got a lot of pain and he is processing, and he puts on a brave face. But as those credits rolled, I saw just a little bit of a change of expression on his face, and that put a bit of worry into me. It's not a very clear cliffhanger. It's just something that seems like, ooh, this is where things may get real. And I've been lacking for things that felt like just real relationship stuff in this season so far. So maybe that's where things are going to get real in terms of their relationship. All right, that's all I've got to share about this episode. Please share what you are thinking about this episode, what you are feeling about this episode in the commentos, because I like reading them and I encourage the conversation. As long as you are a kind human being, I will be kind to you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you for watching the show with me as we go. Thank you for having my non-binge TV time with friends. That's you. Thank you for ending the week with me and the fin de semaine. And we will see you next week in Fernwood.